AutoWeb. Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, the #1 resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4,
AutoWeb.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is L.A. Williams, Vice President with Dealer Synergy and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. And Sean, he created everything else but the podcast. That's me, right? So anyway, what's going on, everybody? I'm really excited to be having a conversation to y'all today. It sounds like it's like when it comes to these last couple, y'all know Sean was in Abu Dhabi over the last week or so. He didn't have a time to do a podcast last week. He obviously ain't have time to do a podcast this week. No, I'm joking, but he's just, taking care of a lot of stuff. But I do have a Bradley. I definitely got a Bradley for you, but it's not Sean V. Bradley. It is Tianna Mick Bradley, right?
Thanks, L.A. I love the introduction.
Absolutely. You know how we do it. It's one of those things where I say, we actually did that when we were in NADA, and we did a podcast all about it. We talked about, the whole Tianna Mick Bradley thing. Is that still fun? Because that's fun for me to say.
It's super fun. It gets people understanding the connection more because they hear Mick and they're like, what is that? And they hear Bradley and they're like, okay, I know who you're talking about.
So it's fun stuff. All right, cool. So a couple of weeks ago, we did a podcast with you and Sean, and you guys were talking about all the different places that you were going in the month of October. Listen, October is now complete, and so you're back. This is good. Welcome back, right? So now that you're here,
so much.
We want to get the listeners, they've been asking, they're like, yo, we heard that you was going all these places. What the hell happened, right? So most recently, I think you were at NAMAD, right? You're the National Association for Minority Automobile Dealers, right?
Yep, that's right. We were at the Dealer Synergy team, which included Sean Bradley, Vasily Vega. We have Ashley and Max, who's kind of like on our video team. There are videographers and video producers. They were all at NAMAD because we were actually there from the 4th to the 8th. We were there really from the 3rd to the 8th. So it was a huge chunk of time with all of our team there. It was super awesome.
That's crazy. So, and it was in Miami this year, right?
Yeah, it was in Miami. It was at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami. It was absolutely beautiful. I even went back recently for vacation because it is just so beautiful there. And I was even more excited that obviously we get to have a automotive conference there. So we get to meet everybody that we saw last year and a bunch of more people, because obviously last year we were still kind of getting over the pandemic and, things like that. So this year it was definitely packed full. And like I said, we were actually hired as the video team to video the event. So it was absolutely awesome.
So what were you, because I heard you said you had videographers there with you. So what was your main role at I was going to say NADA, NAMAD?
At NAMAD, so me, Vasily, and our software developer, Anath, we were all at the booth. We had a booth right in the front. So as soon as you walked into the exhibit hall, or as soon as you walked in to register, it's funny. If anybody is listening and you had questions and you asked some girl, where do you register? It was probably us at Dealer Synergy. We were right in the front. We were telling everybody, hey, this is where you register, because that's the first question. And then we say, right when you're done registering, you're going to come right back here and talk to us. Because like I said, we had that prime real estate in the front. It was absolutely amazing to be there. And we were actually in the same spot as last year. So we got, a lot of traffic from people that we already saw, and we solidified even more deals because we made our presence known.
Okay. Tight. That's what I'm talking about. All right, cool. So you were talking about, the whole booth thing, usually whenever people have a booth, it's because they're like offering a product or something like that. So is there a product that you guys were talking about?
Oh, absolutely. So Sean Bradley, as you know, my father, and then also the founder of Dealer Synergy, he actually had a keynote session at NAMAD. So as soon as he was done presenting, which was our product that we were also offering at the booth, everybody ran over to the booth, and it was getting so packed and so crazy full. And we were actually debuting their brand new one-of-a-kind design, never seen in automotive. It's called the Money Mind Mapp. And like I said, it is it is the Money Mind Mapp. It is your GPS to your financial success. And like I said, Sean Bradley and Syntech, they invented the most advanced technology for showroom automotive sales professionals, for dealerships, you know, on the macro and the micro level. So it's not just for dealers, it's for automotive individuals as well. It's a projection, forecasting, and daily activity tracker, which basically you put in, you know, you think of the end in mind. It's like Franklin Covey, right? Think first with the end in mind. So you put in whether that be a monthly unit goal or a monthly financial goal. Me personally, I'm driven by more money, so I'm going to put that financial goal in there. And it's literally your roadmap and your path to how to obtain that goal. How many calls you have to make, how many texts you have to make, how many appointments you have to set. So as soon as Sean keynoted that whole presentation, everybody was running over to the booth wanting to take a look.
That's pretty cool. Money Mind Mapp. Y'all should call it M3. I think that'd be kind of cool if y'all call
the M3. Yep. Absolutely. I think you heard about it, L.A. once or twice around here.
Something like that. Matter of fact, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play the there's a video that they had going at NAMAD, and I'm gonna play that real quick because it's mostly audio anyways. Just talking about, you know, beginning with the end in mind. Where do you want to go within this automotive industry? As a matter of fact, there is a bunch of examples, and I promise you that M3 can take you there. Check this out. Hold on one second.
Hey, M3, can you take me to greatness?
No problem. Let's have a look at your destination.
Cody Carter, showroom sales consultant, 154 units sold in 1 month. Featured on Fox News, Ali Rita broke the Guinness Book of World Records by selling 1,582 units in 1 year. Chrissy Carferry Burton, 74 units in 1 month from the sales floor. Frank Crinitti, 100 plus units sold per month from the showroom sales floor. Damon Lester, dealer principal and NAMAD president, helping minorities establish major precedents within the automotive industry. Tianna Mick, personal brand ambassador of T Got Your Keys, the #1 website for an automotive professional. Dylan Robertson, from $12 an hour to $12,000 per month at 19 years old. Colina Bradley, from making $25,000 a year to over $25,000 a month at age 21. Brandon Cargozo, sold over 106 cars on TikTok. Mike Davenport, with over 200 million minutes watched per month on his YouTube channel. Chevy Dude went from a sales consultant to becoming a dealer principal. Rob Ruth, dealer principal of Bob Ruth Ford, from selling 75 units to 320 units per month online. Damian Mills, CEO of Mills Automotive Group with 20 plus rooftops. The first and only African American to own a Bentley franchise. Danny Zevslovsky, dealer principal of Country Hill Motors, built a vehicle acquisition center that started buying 20 units per month. Now over 250 units per month from the public. Glenn Lundy, as the GM of Dan Cummings Chevrolet, he took his team from 150 units per month to 1,150 units in Paris, Kentucky. Crystal Coombs and the Coombs Automotive Group, a $2.9 billion per year company. Is this where you want to go? Yes, M3. Show me the GPS roadmap to success.
Yo, that joint is crazy. Look, maybe I like it because I did all the audio stuff, but no. The on the podcast listeners, you're not getting the full audio effect. Go to Sean's YouTube channel and you can actually see the video live. But what was the reaction? I mean, the people. I know you said people was running across. We ran to the booth and everything like that. Where people like, oh, I want to see that again. That was cool. Like, break that down for me.
Oh my gosh, they were absolutely blown away. They were, like I said, everybody was stockpiled up around the computer wanting to watch the trailer again and again. And then, like I said, Sean was at the booth and he was really going into the in-depths, and so was Anath, about all of the aspects and the complete design. And everybody just wanted to get that third, fourth, second look because it just once wasn't enough. It's such a crazy concept that, obviously it's so underutilized in automotive. There's not a lot of salespeople or even dealerships really projecting and forecasting and keeping themselves accountable to their goals. So this is the perfect solution to, if you're listening and you have goals in mind, which every dealership does, right? You have money goals and you have unit goals, then you need to have the M3 Money Mind Map in your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, if you guys want to get M3, matter of fact, we're going to make a special Millionaire Car Salesman offer, right, for the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast listeners. Just text the word M3. I mean, I guess it's only 2 little letters, but text that to me and I'll give you my number. It's 267-551-6279. So just text me, text the Blind Master at 267-551-6279. Text M3, and then, because it's so crazy, sometimes I forget what I told people to text. I'm like, wait, what do you need? What do you need? But I'm not going to forget. If you text me M3, then I'm going to know exactly what you need, and I'll get you like a demo of the product, and I'll also make sure you get a special discount code, okay? Sound like a plan. All right. So anything else that we need to know about the whole conference of NAMAD? Because I think that was just like the first day. Did y'all do any fun stuff? I mean, break it down for me.
Oh, of course. We always have a fun time at NAMAD. Last year, we were partying with Lil Jon. And this year, we had Lil Jon couldn't make it. We did have another DJ who was throwing it down at the Lib, which is one of the hottest nightclubs which I heard of in Miami. They actually shut it down completely just for us. So it was a private event and it was absolutely awesome. We had a tremendous amount of fun. But not only that, we got to network and meet so many automotive professionals, dealer principals, managers, OEMs like Subaru, Mercedes, General Motors. We met a bunch of, new friends there. And we met a bunch of people that we saw last year, which is just amazing. The connectivity and the networking that you get to do at NAMAD, because as you know, LA, we are minorities. And once you get us in a room together, there's nothing that we can't do.
Amen. You tell the truth. And those swag bags was nice, man. I got one of those bags. I appreciate y'all bringing me one bag. It got everything in there, man. It's so cool, man. So yeah, man, y'all got to make sure y'all go to NAMAD. That's not an event that you want to miss based off what Ms. T Got Your Keys is telling us. And, what I know about the event, you want to make sure you never miss a NAMAD event moving forward. All right. So it is what it is. And then, speaking of other events, I know you, like I said, you was on tour, right? So let's talk about some of the other places that one of the places you went. You said you had a team at NAMAD, but there were some years you went all by yourself. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, this year's Digital Dealer, the big one, right, in Las Vegas. It was somebody actually changed my paradigm because somebody asked me, are you with your team? Because obviously, like you said, LA, usually we're team deep, and in this one I was by myself. And I was out there in Las Vegas. I was like, no, it's just me. Or no, I said, it's just me. And they were like, no, not that it's just you. It's only you. Put some power in your words. And I was like, that's true. It's not just me, right? We always sell ourselves short. So I'm like, oh, it's just me. Little old me. Like, no, it's only me. I'm the only one here.
That's all you need, baby.
So yeah, like you said, I was by myself and I flipped my paradigm and I was like, it's only me, not the team, right? And I was at Digital Dealer for the event and I was honored with being I was actually asked. I didn't submit anything at all. I was actually asked to present my very own session. As you know, I presented at Digital Dealer before on a panel and we also exhibited before, but this is the first time that I had my very own session, and it was super exciting and super, the opportunities were just amazing, especially at Digital Dealer, and it was only me.
I love that. So what did you talk about? Because, I mean, I know I saw it on Facebook where I was kind of getting pieces of it and then, it's connectivity issues and everything. But what was your topic and what did you want people to learn from the message that you were giving them?
Yeah, so my presentation, it was a 50-minute long presentation, a workshop like everybody else. And the title was How Your Community Can Become Your Greatest Asset. So I had 3 key takeaways that they had, right? And I was kind of thinking, like, how can I sum this up into just 3 little things, right? Like being in your community, selling, marketing, branding yourself, all that is so much to fit in 3 little, bullet points. But I summed it down to one of them, and I'll explain each is, don't be a company, be a community, and ultimately reduce your dependency on paid advertising. Because I don't know if you know, LA, but paid ad spend is actually increasing by 10% each year. And in automotive, this year it's actually going up. It's actually at about 13% and growing. Wow. So paid ad spend is costing dealers hundreds and thousands. I mean, LA firsthand how much dealers spend on advertising.
Sure do. We just did a whole couple podcasts on that. If y'all missed it, right? Talking about with vendors and all kind of stuff like that, and people wanting to charge you extra, right? Yeah. So that's why we want to make sure you're saving as much money as possible, because not only we want the vendors treating folks fairly, but also with the advertising spend, we want to make sure that that's not being overdone. We want to make sure you get the biggest bang for your buck. So talk a little bit. You said become a community instead of just being a company, right? That's fire.
So I was telling people, start thinking, instead of spending money on leads, spend money on what the community needs. So one of the things
wait, you know you cooking that fire. That is what she bombing. I'm about to have to pull out a beat machine out this joint. Instead of spending money on leads, spend it on what the company needs. Community, when I mess it up, see. See, I got to work on my rhyming skills, you know what I'm saying? No, but that's hot, though.
Right. Yeah. So instead of spending money on leads, spend money on what the community needs, right? Stop giving into that paid advertising. If we as a industry keep giving into this paid spend, and they see it's working, it's like the gas prices, right? If nobody stops and decides we're not going to do this anymore, we're going to take another route to where we got to go, they're just going to keep taking advantage of us. So exactly what I was saying is, instead of spending money on leads or advertising or getting more and more and more, right? It's spend money on what the community needs. So one of the things that my dealership that I worked in the past did was, the local grocery store, they actually needed shopping carts. And shopping carts are kind of expensive, but dealerships have money, right? And so what they did was they funded and they got the local community, the grocery store, they got them 100 shopping carts, but in the front was a logo of our dealership. So of course we were showing that we were giving back to the community instead of, everybody can just write a check. We were actually doing something, but we were, subliminally in the faces of hundreds of local people. And we were letting them know that, if anybody's going to take care of you, whether it's even not buying a car, it's, having your food in your cart, right? That's going to be us. So that's basically what I was teaching on.
That's good stuff. All right, cool. So I heard you say you had 3 takeaways. We ain't got all day. So give them number 2.
So number 2 was how to use social product placement to subliminally send messages to your prospects and to your community.
Which is kind of like what you just talked about, right? with the shopping carts and stuff like that. That's pretty cool stuff. All right, cool. So folks got to go ahead. You're going to say something.
Yeah, no, but in this instance, instead of having that product placement of that logo, this is that social product placement. So I was telling people, if you're going to connect with someone on an emotional and a social level, which is one of the key triggers for, buying and sales, is you have to get to people's emotional level, and you can get there subliminally to send a powerful message. So I'm not sure if you knew, LA, but excuse me, I was on Bradley's podcast, Dropping Bombs podcast.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And so one of the things that he asked me was, why do you have to be all up in your face about it, about being, I'm in the LGBT community. So I was like, why do you have to be so up, in everybody's face? Why do you have to let everybody know? And this is not. And I was basically telling him there's a social, subliminal message of sending things. So I would one tip that I would say is, I would make sure there's 2 things in my video when I would send out a video: a pride flag in the background, and then a picture of my cat in the background. Because if people are going to watch the video, they're going to know, 1, I'm in the community of the LGBT, or I'm an ally, right? And I love cats. So I'm subliminally sending that message without, quote unquote, as Brad says, right, being in your face about it.
Nice. That's smooth. Like, just because it's being smooth, I think personally, but I get what they're saying, and, subliminally and all that. But to me, it makes it feel, so corporate, right? But for me, it's just, why can't you just look? I'm smooth, y'all. Listen, look, girl. Like, what I'm saying? look at me, right? So good stuff. All right, cool. And then the third thing was what?
And last but not least, which obviously, if you want to get into, you can always reach out to me on my cell phone or my email. And my cell phone number is 610-607-3231. Or my email is my first name, Tianna, Tianna, @dealersynergy.com. Because this last one is actually an actionable step. I was walking everybody through how to discover, develop, and maximize your own community. So bottom line is, in my community, I said, I opened up with a joke, right? I said, I'm a part of the LGBT community. And that's something that, in my opinion, you have to be born a part of. And unless you're single, I do have a couple of friends' numbers that I can give out if you want to try it, right? But there's other communities that we're all a part of that you don't have to necessarily be born into, right? So everybody thinks of communities when we hear buzzwords like that in the industry, like ethnicity, sexual orientation, or even gender, right? Men versus women, things like that. But a community can be any like-minded space that you and others share. So my little brother, Xander, he plays football on his little minor league, right? He plays football. I'm instantly a part of that whole football community, that whole Medford, community, just simply because we're a part of the same team. So I was just teaching dealers and everybody how you can find and maximize your own community.
I love that. Same thing with me, with Jeremiah in basketball, right? Him playing those basketball games. You know how many parents I met? I'm like, oh my gosh, this is super cool, right? And again, it's not a manipulative thing, but as a business person, you think, wow, I got an entirely new market. Right? I got a whole brand new group of people who didn't know who I was that finally get to know who I am. They get to see me interacting with my son and spending time, and they get to, see the real me. I'm having a good time with my wife and, talking with parents and doing the announcements and all kind of stuff like that. Because every time the kids score, I say their name, DeShazo, or, taller son, stuff like that. I just, so I have a good time with it, and people get to see me in my element. Right. And then, so why would you not want to do business with somebody like that? Do you see what I'm saying? And so I definitely feel where you're coming from on that one. So this is all good stuff, man. Listen, I don't know if y'all realize y'all getting folks' cell phone numbers. Y'all get my numbers, Tiana's number. Look, so we giving y'all resources, right? That's the reason why you come to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, because you want resources. You know what I'm saying? You don't just want to be, oh, let's talk about this, let's talk about that. I mean, that's cute and all, but give me some resources. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my favorite things.
Let me put some action. Right?
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So I could really make some real money around here. That's what I'm talking about. All right, cool. So that was the first two things. And I love what you said. I love, that you kind of spent some time. But here's the thing. I want to take a break real quick, right? And then I want us to come back and I want us to talk about something that, because some of y'all know they're kind of trying to get Tianna to be a dealer. They want her to be a whole dealer principal, right? Well, 22, 23-year-olds. I don't even remember how old you are now. 23-year-olds. Right? They want you to be a dealer principal. Yep. And so where you were at and I know I messed this up, the Ally, say it for me.
Is the Ally AList Summit.
Ally AList Summit. All right. So when we come back, we're going to hear all about Tianna's experience at the Ally AList Summit. Hold on one second, y'all.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Attention auto dealers. You need an opportunity to do business. AutoWeb is one of the largest suppliers of high-quality leads. I mean, high-quality buyers. At a 10% closing ratio, you will be at less than $190 per car sold. Don't just settle for what you get. AutoWeb can fully customize your results through targeted markets and/or zip codes, and as a partner, you will get premium placement within search results. Who better to do that than literally the people that invented automotive internet sales? If you want to sell more cars more often and more profitably, then you need AutoWeb.
All right, everybody, we are back. And I told you, y'all know the guest is the one and only Miss Tianna Mick Bradley, a.k.a. T Got Your Keys. soon to be a daggum car dealer herself. She's going to be a dealer principal. And whenever you're going to be a dealer principal, obviously you got to go to, learn stuff and everything like that. And so she was at this, what's it called again? Ally A-List, how you say it?
AList Summit. The Ally AList Summit. Yep.
I guess it would be right to call it AA. I think that's something else. So that's something a little bit different, right?
I don't think I feel proud saying right? I went to AA. I'm kind of like, good job. I hope so.
Right. I mean, now if that's what you need, totally respect it. Got it. I think, that's good. But yeah, not
I don't need it though. There's probably other groups and therapies I need, but luckily AA is not on my list.
Okay, cool.
Other communities I got to maximize yet.
Awesome stuff. All right. So let's talk a little about, first of all, what is, because even I can't even say it. So I'm sure there's people out here who don't even know what the Ally A-List Summit is. So can you explain to folks what it is?
Yeah, the Ally A-List Summit is actually a accredited educational course, right? Mm-hmm. So it was 4 full educational pack days, basically teaching you all aspects of automotive. And like you said, LA, I have a couple OEMs reaching out to me interested in making me the youngest dealer principal. And I need some education, right? Not only was I obviously on the showroom sales floor, I was working a little in BDC. I have a little management experience, but not really so much. So luckily, I was actually completely sponsored a full ride scholarship by NAMAD, which the event we just talked about, right? The National Association of Minority Automobile Dealers. I was sponsored by NAMAD to go to Ally A-List Summit. And like I said, it's a educational course that basically teaches you all aspects of the dealership. And I'd love to share a couple of the classes that I took and just basically go through kind of the days, because it was super awesome.
No, we want to know. You know what I'm saying? Inquiring minds and Millionaire Car Salesman listeners want to know about the class. Because, there are some people who listen to this podcast. Listen, some folks are okay just being regular, schmeglo car salesman, right? Then some people want to grow to be management. Some people want to be millionaire car salesmen. But then there's some people who want to be dealer principals, right? And they want to be GMs and they want to evolve their career, right? So if you could please share with us some classes, that'd be great, T.
Of course. Well, first, I guess you got to know who Ally is, right? Not everybody knows or is familiar with Ally because we are similar, vendors and things like that. But Ally is a bank, right? Ally Financial. It's one of the largest car finance. Yeah, they're one of the largest car finance companies. So they hold a class called their Ally Academy. But this is basically, this is a summit, right? So this is a little taste of all the classes. So one of the classes that I took in the beginning, actually, before I get into that, I was actually blown away because I met some famous people while I was there. Can I share?
What? Yeah. So wait. You took classes and you met famous people. All right, you got to break it down to us. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I met some famous people. Let me tell you, I was so excited. I took a picture. I sent it to my dad. And I was expecting him to be like, who's this? What is that? And he was like, oh, my God, that's so-and-so. How did you meet him? So
who is so-and-so?
I know.
She being all secretive. Tell us.
I'm building suspense. So we all sit down, right? We're all waiting. We're waiting to see who the guest speaker is. And then all of a sudden someone's like, oh my gosh, it's the guys from Counting Cars, Count Customs. So it's a TV show that's been on for about 10 years, right? I think they had like 10 to 12 seasons, something crazy like that. And it was Danny the Count Coker, right? And Kevin Mack. And it was both of them, and they were absolutely so down to earth, and they were speaking to us, and it was so awesome to meet them.
That is super cool. Every time I hear the count, though, I want to say,
Exactly. He explained why he's called the Count, because he used to have some late TV show where he was a Dracula, vampire on a motorcycle. So when he got into the car industry, he was like, I'm going to keep the brand, right? He kept that brand strong.
Nice.
He kept his community. And that's basically what he was teaching us. I felt inspired. He was facing the same struggles that we're facing as an industry and in all of automotive. He was telling us how he'll get a job and maybe he won't have the part in like 6 months.
Mm.
So is the customer going to sit there for 6 months, and then the part in this crazy market is getting more expensive. So now jobs that he was quoting X amount maybe doubled because the inventory and the market right now is so insane, as we know, with inventory and parts and chips and things like that, that it was awesome to see, not awesome to see that he was facing similar things, but from someone on his
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And level. Yeah.
Because you felt like you were part of his community, right? It was like, we are part of the struggles community. Like, we go through this stuff. You ain't the only one, right? Everyone wants to be a part of a community. So that feeling that T was just explaining is exactly how you want your customers to feel when they meet with you, right? You want them to feel like they understand their struggle. Right? That you understand their struggles. Listen, if you do, you're going to feel just like how Tianna feels towards them. You're going to feel warmer toward them. You're going to want to, the customers going to want to take pictures with you and all kind of cool stuff. Think, oh man, this is my guy right here. This is my gal. This is my person. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say? So that's the key. So I think that was really awesome that you shared. That was like a little golden nugget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I loved meeting them just because, as you said, we're all facing the similar market and they're getting through it, and so will we. So moving on to my first class, which is basically your main course, right? It's like college. So you have like a main degree and then you have like your minor. So my major was growing strategically. And in this educational path, you get to immerse yourself in a simulation-based dealership, and you get to operate different reports and identify and analyze different needs and opportunities. And I was basically, I was very, very educated because I knew almost nothing to little walking in. But when I walked out, I knew so much. I was looking at expense reports, data, supplement sheets, and cross-analyzing things. It was, I gained a new, appreciation.
You a bossity boss now.
It was hours of extensive work.
So you went away and became a bossity boss, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It was so insane. It was crazy.
T got your keys and she also got a whole bunch of other stuff too. You better not mess with it. I'm trying to tell you, she gonna pull out the cross report on you.
Yeah. Look, what is this?
That's pretty cool stuff. All right, cool. So that was the major. So you want to talk about the minor, or was it some other stuff that had to do with the major? Tell us.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, I minored in dealership forecasting, which is an intuitive course that taught skills to improve business results in the dealership, and basically focuses on consistent and accurate forecasting. So that's what we do a lot here at Dealer Synergy, right?
Say that right. Say that again. Consistent and what? What's that A word?
Consistent and accurate forecasting.
Love it. That's what I'm talking about. Need that.
So that's what we do here at Dealer Synergy. So I was like, I need a minor in that because I'm pretty much educated on that, but let me see what Ally got, right? So it's absolutely awesome to see how everything was broken down from the service side to the sales side to the F&I side. It was everything, every aspect, right? It wasn't just new and used cars. It was parts, sales, all that was separate. We were able to use kind of like the Money Mind Mapp, right? The forecasting, projection, and predictive models to basically enhance businesses in all those aspects. So, like I said, it's really going to help me better understand dealers when we're properly and accurately forecasting and predicting and hitting goals for our clients as well.
Yeah, no, that's fire. That's what I'm talking about. So, and then again, passing that knowledge on to the team, right? Because folks really got to learn. They got to learn how this stuff really works. Because so many times, I think even with all the stuff that we teach, I think people don't know the depth that it really goes to, right? They just think, oh, it's about this or it's about that. No, there's so many different layers. How many layers would you say? I mean, another 7 layers that most people are unaware of. It's not so skin deep, as that makes sense. It's kind of like beauty. It's not just skin deep. There's a lot of things that people are just unaware of. So no, I love that. I love that. So overall, I mean, you said you went there, you weren't educated. How you feeling? You almost ready, girl? Like, this is exciting.
It was so, like I said, it was an amazing experience. I just wanted to like I said, these were all tastes of the courses, right? In the beginning, they're like, if you want to take the full course, you pay this and do that, which I was like, no, I'm not going to do all that. But now, but now, right, they earned the value in my eyes, and they were amazing.
You want to talk about, you keep teaching lessons right now. I don't even think you understand it, right? Right now, see, initially they said, oh, hey, you could buy this, you could buy that. And you was like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. But then once they provided what? Value. Now you're like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I will, right? Maybe I will spend that extra. Maybe I will go ahead and get those floor mats. Maybe I will go ahead and get that paint protection. Maybe I will go ahead and get that wheel lock warranty. You see what I'm saying? That's oh my gosh, that is key right there, right? But again, now watch this. Had you gone in there and the class was whack, boring, right? No value. They talking about and you could buy this extra. You'd be like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? Right? You'd be like, you better get out my face. I didn't even get
my value, right?
Exactly. You'd be angry that you took the time to take the trip out there, right? That's how your customers feel, right? If you're not going to provide value, they're going to be mad that they came to the dealership, right? But if you provide an amazing experience and blow them away, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, what else you got for me? Right? Hey, let me send my friends and family. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No, speaking of experiences, right? I forgot to mention that the whole summit was actually at a spa resort in Scottsdale, Arizona.
I was going to ask you, but I didn't know if it was at a secret location.
No. Everybody was golfing. Everybody was in the pool. It was in the spa. It was talk about experience, right? If you're going to go get educated, you're going to be also, pampered as you do it when you're going there, right? Just speaking about, because you can go to a conference and it could be at some hotel and there's no amenities and you got to go to McDonald's to get some food and there's no entertainment. But when you are there and you're entertained, you're pampered, and you're well taken care of, like I said, the food was gourmet. The spa was amazing, hands down. And everything, all the amenities were absolutely amazing. And that just sold the experience even more, right? I was like, I want to go to classes even more, because not only am I going to be educated, it's like college, and then I got to walk back to my crappy dorm room or my small apartment. Like, no, I was going back to a resort, right? So I was excited to
sound like you're talking about Internet Sales 20 Group. That's what that sounds like. It sounds like you're talking about Internet Sales 20 Group. That's kind of how we do it, right?
Exactly.
We totally believe that when you're relaxed and you're having fun, you actually retain more information. I talk about that all the time. So, wow, like, props to Ally, man. They doing it right. They know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they took some pointers. I don't know. But, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. So that's beautiful, man.
Their colors are purple. Their colors are purple, and that's T Got Your Keys colors. So
hey,
I don't know what they're doing.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So that's lovely. All right, cool. So overall, like, because you went to 3 straight events, right? A couple of them you didn't have the team with you and all that different type of stuff. So because it was only you, right? Not just you, it was only you. So give me your overall experience because I heard that there was some stuff that happened with Sean's presentation in NAMAD that, it didn't quite go right? And then you had some stuff happen when you were by yourself. And you said, so Britt, talk about that a little bit, that overcoming challenges thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I completely forgot to mention it. And I think because of how well Sean handled his situation, that I didn't even give it a second thought, right? It's not even in my mind anymore. But exactly what happened was, when Sean was at his keynote session, he had a video for his presentation, and it wouldn't play, and it didn't play. And of course, but he handled it very well. He didn't even skip a beat, right? And of course, when he gets off, he's like, oh no, my video. But everybody was like, oh my gosh, your content was so amazing. Your message was so powerful. They just completely forgot about the video. And that leads on to my story, right? Because earlier we mentioned how I was presenting at this year's Digital Dealer in Las Vegas. It took place on October 12th. And if you actually have the Digital Dealer app, you can go see my recorded session. October 12th at 2:10 p.m. their time. But in that recording,
Did we present at the same time? And what is it about 210? Why they keep putting us?
Always. And then my panel last year was at 210. Everything's at 210. I'm going to play those numbers.
There you go.
I'll play 210.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. So
but
tell
maybe
them
it's a curse number, right? Because this time, like similar to Sean, and if you go watch my session, you'll have that proof of I had videos in my presentation and they weren't playing. And it was such a, like, I had a 5-minute video that was like a key needed thing in my presentation. Then I had a couple of example videos that were a couple minutes long. And, you know, I honestly saw Sean just roll with it, right? Roll with the punches, go with the flow. And I did the same thing. I was like, oh, well, I guess my videos aren't playing, but if it did, this is what it would say. And here's the point that I'm trying to make. And as soon as I got off, the first thing I said, similar to Sean, was, oh my God, my videos didn't play. And everybody came up to me and was like, your message was so powerful. Everything was so valuable. You just didn't skip a beat. It was like amazing. And it gave me that much confidence because I saw Sean obviously overcome those things. And I had people come up to me saying, you know, at your age, being able to present and then just your whole presentation, you know, depending on a couple of videos and you just keep going, you know, encourage me and other adults that they can do it, right? If I can do it, if you can see it, you can be it. So I saw Sean do it and be it. So I saw it and I did it.
Absolutely. See, and that is the power of mentorship, right? When you have a mentor, you have someone who's ahead of you that's doing it. They're doing the things that you want to do, that you're going to do, and you watch them and how they handle themselves. Man, you either going to see an example or you're going to see a warning, right? Now, in this situation, Sean was the example. Hey, this is how you handle it when you run into challenges, right? And she didn't even flinch. She didn't skip a beat, right? And so what happens when you can't find the keys at your dealership? Are you snapping on people? What happens when the car is out of gas at your dealership? Are you angry, right? Or does your customer know, or do you just make it a part of the process, right? Like, how are you handling this situation? And I'm giving some basic little simple situations, but see, listen, this is what you did. You can give specific examples. What are some of the challenges that people let take over?
Oh my God.
At the dealership that they shouldn't, that they should just roll with the punches?
I already know where you're going, LA, right? It's when you're presenting a car and they just want to go, I want to go over here. I want to look at this and I want to look at that. And you let them, right? You let them not want to say walk all over you, but you let them. And there's a way that you can handle, right? Like like that video didn't play, that presentation, you know, that you were trying to do for them, it wasn't resonating. So, you know, I would say personally, like, hey, you know, I love that you're so excited about seeing the car, but let me do this. Let me show you everything that I need to show you. That way, when we get to those really exciting parts afterwards, we can really go into those details. But I just want to make sure you're fully educated on the car before we continue, okay? It's getting that control, right?
I love it. That's what I'm talking about, T, man. You're just a wealth of knowledge, right? And so the cool thing about it is that she's not like y'all know she's not a one-time guest and stuff like that. We can have her back, right? She's going to be hosting some of these things, man. So you guys are going to learn so much about Miss T Got Your Keys even deeper. See, y'all think y'all know her now because y'all see her on TikTok and all that. You might have visited her website. But man, I'm telling you, she is such a wealth of knowledge, and she's only in the beginning, man. I'm telling you, she's growing. And what I would say is that, you know, grow with her, right? Don't allow her to just kind of, okay, you know, next time you see her, she's this. Next time you see her, she's that. Well, next time she see you, what are you, right? Are you the same you, or did you get better, right? Did you literally take in the knowledge that we teach here at the Millionaire Car Salesman, whether it's the podcast, whether it's the Facebook group, whatever it is, right? Are you learning from it, and are you growing? Are you becoming better? That's exactly what I would, you know, that I would challenge each and every listener to submit to growth. Okay. Like literally devote yourself to growth. People talk about discipline all the time. You got to be devoted to growth. What are you doing to devote yourself to growth? So before we go, T, I just want to any little last things that you want to make sure that you share with people now that we're into November. You can either kind of tell us like some closeout thing for October or give us a charge for the rest of the year. We literally have 61 days left, right? And 60 if you don't count today, because this podcast come out at 4:00, right? So 60 days left in the year. What do folks got to do?
Oh my gosh. Well, like we just said, right, we have to start thinking about how we can be more involved in your community, maximizing your community, especially in these upcoming months where things might quote unquote be slower at the dealership. Or I have so many people saying, you know, what do I start doing? You know, the summer is ending, especially for us all on the East Coast, right? Winter is coming, the snow is coming. What do I do? What can I do? And I always go back to, well, why, you know, let's solve the problem before it becomes a problem, right? If you were already in your community, already immersed in the places that you should be and learning the things you should be, then when the slow time, quote unquote, comes, you wouldn't even feel that impact. So unfortunately, right now, people are going to be scrambling. They're going to be, you know, trying to build up their pipeline as much as possible. And then when summer comes, they're going to let it go, right? They're not going to be, you know, trying to build it up. And then as soon as the quote unquote problem starts to come arise, they're going to start again. But I always say, solve the problem before it becomes a problem. So start building your community, guys.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. So listen, we're not going to be here all daggone day. Listen, I appreciate each and every one. I always say, listen, you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with. And you've just been spending time with the Blind Master L.A. Williams and the one and only Tianna Mick, a.k.a. T Got Your Keys. It's your turn. Go out there and become a millionaire car salesman. We'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Bye.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tianna Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is sponsored in part by AutoWeb. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. You know, let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.